This is it, the final challenge. Hello, my polished pals. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Brush, a video podcast that dives into the ins and outs of the World Star Nail Artist Competition brought to you by Scratch Magazine, along with our platinum sponsor, C&D. This is another visual show, so remember to click on that little video button on Spotify. My name is Winnie at Winnie is Awesome, and welcome to your finale challenge of WSNA. After shedding blood, sweat, and tears, our contestants are ready to find out just who is going to win the first ever World Star Nail Artist Competition. Today we're going over these amazing finale entries, and who better to accompany me on this electric journey than the dynamic duo themselves, Beth Livesey and Helena Biggs. Everybody, welcome! Woo! Jeez. This is it, ladies. This is it.
It's crazy. How have we got to here? It's flown.
I know. In my email, I was like, I don't even know how we got here.
It's mad, isn't it? We've seen so many nails and so many incredible nails, and now this is it, the finale. I mean, we had to put 5 people in the finale as opposed to 3 because the talent was just so amazing, and we just
couldn't decide.
So,
Exactly.
And here we are with another tough decision.
Well, we did it to ourselves. That's all I can say. Yeah, so I guess since we've last chatted, we always told people it was only going to be top 3, but we ended up sending 5 people through to the finale. And I don't think that's ever been done before. That's a new thing. Well, I mean, this is the first year.
Well, the thing is, I think with this competition, because it's been the first year, there have been some learning curves, but there's also things that we can change as we go along, and that's been the beauty of this. And we all know that the nail industry isn't linear. No 2 designs are the same, no 2 nail artists are the same. And I hope you'll both agree with me here, is that when we came to deciding on our finalists, it's not comparing apples with apples, as the saying goes. Like we had so many amazing people to choose from, yet their designs were all so different that you can't base them all on the same thing. So we ended up, the ones that we loved for all different reasons became our finalists.
Yeah, and it was a huge, long debate, wasn't it, Helena? Like, we were like, oh, but this and that, and then so-and-so is also this. Like,
we could have had 10 people.
Oh yeah.
Easy.
Absolutely. And I think we saw people that really came out of their shell for the final challenge, but then we were looking at, how people have grown over time, and there were so many different aspects that came into this. And we're making this decision in the space of a couple of days, working across several different time zones in terms of the judges and where we are. And I think our inboxes were pretty much on fire, weren't they? Just trying to figure out who should be in this final 5.
I know. I'm actually quite impressed that we didn't have to jump on a call or anything. It was just like emails back and forth. I think if we were on a call, it would just be everybody shouting over each other.
Absolutely.
Jeez. Now, this is our finale challenge. This is the challenge that determines who is going to win the first ever WSNA. That's a huge deal, you guys.
Yeah, they set the bar for everything going forward. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like the pioneers of WSNA. Wow, top 5. Good job, you guys. So who are our top 5s? We have Monica, Katie, and Gemma, Sly, and Camilla, our warrior. These 5 are seriously like they belong on one hand. And they're just so great. I'm so glad they're through to the finale. So let's talk about this last challenge, Beth. I know this one is sponsored by C&D, so it's all about C&D, and you are the mastermind behind this beautiful challenge. So would you care to share with our audience what it is all about, please?
Sure, I'd love to. So C&D Summer Collection is Bizarre Beauty. So it's really about loud colors. It's about fun shapes. It's about surrealism. So, if you think of those surrealist artists, it's about maximalism. So for me personally, I love the aesthetic. So we're talking about really bold colors. And so for this challenge, we said we wanted to see 10 nails and they had to be inspired by Bizarre Beauty. The more bizarre, the better. So I think that was what we were telling our contestants to really push themselves in terms of out of the box thinking. Now, to make it even more bizarre, they had to use a non-nail object in their piece, and they couldn't use traditional nail shapes, so no wearable nail shapes. And there had to be 3D artwork. So you could do some hand painting, but there had to be dimension in there. And of course, since it's C&D's challenge, they had to use at least one C&D product.
Whew, that is hard.
Yeah.
I know Bizarre Beauty sounds like such a fun challenge, but it's kind of hard. What
10
is
days
the
they had.
Yeah, 10 nails, and they have what, the same amount of time? Yeah,
Right. It was shorter this time,
Shorter.
I think.
10
10
days.
days. Yeah, it was 10 as opposed to
A
the
nail
4
a
days.
day. Yeah.
a nail a day.
I mean, probably not, but you know what I'm
Keeps-
saying. Yeah.
Keeps the sleeps away.
I don't think our finalists will argue with that at all.
Yeah.
I know Monica DM'd me and she was like, whoever thinks an online competition is easier, they clearly have not competed in WSNA before. It's not easy, you guys, we have to say. Now, all of these entries, they are available online for everybody to see now. There are some similarities. It's so funny because you can tell. I was like, did these guys talk? Do you think they talked? Because there are so many similarities. Like right off the bat, all I could recall is like there are lots of eyes.
Yeah, eyeballs is what I was gonna say.
Eyeballs.
You know what's funny? When I was looking, like I really expected like surrealist artists. Like I expected some Dali or something. There wasn't any of that, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
We only had Mondrian, and I don't know. I'm not an art major, but I don't know if I'd call him a surrealist. To me, I don't think that's his type of art. But yeah, I was a little shocked by the lack of that take on the challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I kind of love the takes that we did have because they were just bizarre in their own kind of way.
Yeah.
Each of our finalists was kind of carving their own artistic profile, I guess, onto this set of nails. And I think, like you said, Winnie, there were elements that were the same, but every single design was so different in what inspired it and in what was conceived, and it just made for a very, very interesting couple of hours just looking at those photos. There's just so much to look at with them, and I'm still so amazed at how these nail artists produced all of that in 10 days.
Yeah, the more I look at these entries, the more I'm like, why did we pick 5?
It's so hard.
Come on, we knew this was gonna happen, but now it's like, darn it. So I want to start out with lying. I have to say that I'm a little disappointed in a way. Lying, beautiful work as always, but I think she missed the brief a little bit this time.
Lying
missed the brief completely.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yes. So maybe it's a language barrier issue, but we know she's capable of coming hard at a challenge. But I think we weren't able to see enough nails because you need 10 fingers, 10 nails, and unfortunately, this was just.
There's just no correlation with Bizarre Beauty. She has her theme, which is based on beauty and sort of this saying of the Buddha. And I do think it's cool how she does her technique. Obviously, she's a master at sculpting. Of course, she belongs in our top 5. I just think, though, at a certain point, if you're a great artist, that's one thing, but you have to be a great artist who can mix it up. And I think that this piece, while beautiful, it looks very similar to me to all her other pieces this season. And this is her chance to do something very out there and very strange. And there's nothing strange about this. It's just beautiful. So, so it's a compliment, but it's just missing the rules. And I think I said this last time. I don't recall if I say it on here, if I say it when we talk. But Lang, like, she's so professional. But I want to know more about her personality. Like, are there any quirks? Like, what is she considered to be like strange? Like, what does she consider to be beautiful? Like, we know about her artistic influences because I think she discusses them a lot. But like, I want to know more about her. And the other part of this challenge was their write-up had to tell us why they were the world star nail artist. And so that was the other thing I was really looking at too. Like, who's going to articulate that, not only in their nails, when they write it up. And again, I just think it was another missed opportunity where she didn't give us a lot to chew on about what makes her the world star nail artist. I mean, no doubt she's in the top 5. She belongs here. But for me, this isn't Bizarre Beauty, and I still couldn't tell you who Lang is.
I think I would totally agree with you on that. And I think, like you said earlier, there is absolutely no denying that Lang is the most consummate professional. I think her videos have been probably the most professional we've seen throughout this entire competition. She is an incredible representative of the nail industry, and her skill is just unbelievable. Like, this creation was absolutely sensational. However, it did not fit what was required of the challenge. And that's where we're having to draw lines now in this very, very tough point of the contest, where we're having to be very strict about what's met the brief and what's not in order to make our final decision. And she 100% deserves this finalist place because her skill, she's wowed us week on week. Like, she was put into the wild card, I think it was week 2, after challenge 2, and she has brought it every single time. And some of her techniques completely astound me. I've never seen some of them before, and she does create these masterpieces. And even the way, like, her photos were shot at the end, like, it took me until the last photo. She's actually used a model, but she's painted their skin, and so you could almost not see them, but you're designed to see a little bit of them. And it's so thoughtful, and it's fantastic, and it's great for a photo shoot that was a general photo shoot, where it can be like, I'm going to do whatever I want today, but it's not a Bizarre Beauty.
That's the biggest speed bump in this entry, I think. Like, we're not saying that she's not a good artist or she's not a good professional. She's everything, and she deserves this final spot. This is why a write-up is important, because we don't know the backstory of her piece, even though she sort of explained it.
And we gave them a mood board, and Bizarre Beauty was actually on the cover of the June issue of Scratch magazine, one of C&D's campaign shots from that collection, And so if I was a finalist, I'd almost take inspiration from that kind of style. Some of our finalists really did. And looking at the mood board, nothing there really translates from that mood board into this design. So and the details, oh my goodness, the details in her design, amazing as usual, utterly fantastic as a nail artist. But it has to fit. If you're entering a contest, you've always got to read the feedback and look at the parameters of the competition.
No, those are all great tips for going forward if she ever enters another competition. I think these are good things to take with you, and that's, you learn some, you lose some. Okay, now speaking of hiring a model and photo shoot and all that stuff, somebody went to the extreme here. Camila, our girl Camila, she is crazy. She's like, I haven't had a lot of sleep. Look at me. but I want to show you something different, completely different. And I was like, wow, okay, Camila, you win. Yeah, like
I mean, this is the thing,
who always asks for extra credit. Like, I feel like that's Camila.
Camila tries hard.
Yeah, she is a fighter without a shadow of a doubt. And she is the one that out of everybody, she emails me double checking, triple checking everything because she wants this so badly. She is so hungry for this. And the fact that, within seconds of us announcing who was in the final, she was emailing me asking me questions even out. So, I mean, she is so hungry for this, and she has been really, really consistent. I think, the fact that she's gone to the effort within 10 days to not only create these 10 Bizarre Beauty nails that were on brief, but to then go and do a photo shoot as well is just like, wow, nice. No wonder you haven't slept.
Yeah, I do want to say I loved her photo shoot. Like, and I like that she did try that on the last one to show how serious she is, to give us a really good final overview of who she is. She's telling us, I am a professional, seriously. And I loved her model. I loved the color palette that she kept it with the red, the yellow, the blue, on the model, and I think you can very clearly tell when you look at her set, it's Mondrian inspired. I think Camila is good with a color palette, like whether it's all green, whether it's like four colors that look like they were from our collection, Bizarre Beauty. Like, I think she does a good job of, when Camila builds a box for herself, she's good at staying in it and then showing us how to break out of it. Like, I think that's her talent. So I really loved her set. I mean, it is just very neat. It is very clean. And I was thinking of Camila when, we announced the brief, because I think she's shown us some really strange, bizarre nails. And I'm like, she knows. Like, she knows what to do. So I loved her set. I just, like, if I, like, to nitpick, because it's the last challenge, we have to nitpick a little bit, right? I think the green fingernail rings were more bizarre. And I think, like, this, because it's so neat and precise and beautiful, like, I think this could have been a little bit more bizarre and less emphasis on the Mondrian. Because I think she was a little bit trying to play into that. And like I said, I don't think that's quite surrealist enough. I love this set. Kudos to her for doing extra work. I just think she could have gone crazier.
Yes, outrageous. I think it needed to have more, like, she needed to let loose, right? Like, this is very her style. This is very her style. She stayed true to her artist style, because as soon as you see this set, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's Camila. Like,
you know what, I'm going to be controversial, and I do think this for me was bizarre enough. And I think what I saw from the CND campaign, obviously this challenge was sponsored by CND, this color palette and this nail style and Camilla's precision and cleanliness as an artist would not look out of place to me at all in a CND campaign. So I thought this was always very, very on brand. And I think she'd taken the brief and what has been created before her and kind of made it. I kind of love that she made it her own, and just that you can tell it's a Camilla vibe. But that's just my opinion. I think. Yeah.
I just wonder, though, because she was doing this obviously to be modeled. Like, she was doing it as an editorial shoot. So I do agree. Like, if we were going to pick one of these and C&D was going to do some, like, a Bizarre Beauty shoot, I would pick these. But I wonder if in your head, when you're doing something editorially, you do it differently. Whereas if you're doing competition nails, it's different. And so I wonder almost if her deciding to do this editorial spin got in the way a bit. Like, I don't know, Winnie, you've done both. I don't know.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Okay.
I think what we were looking for in this challenge is not another campaign shoot, right?
Right.
So we asked them to create something super bizarre and out of this world that make you kind of question, like, what is this?
Yeah.
you know, and I think there's no doubt that she created a very cohesive set, and the wow factor is there.
Yes.
But because we are who we are, you all should know by now that we're always wanting more and more. The bigger the better, the more the better, right? Like, you're always craving for something, and I think that goes for every single contestant in this challenge. I was craving for more, like, grand and outrageous and wow from everybody because it's the finale.
Yeah, or like
Right?
a spinny, or like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like technical ingenuity. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But I loved Camilla's nails. Like,
Yeah.
So good.
absolutely.
So stunning.
I think the word for Camilla is just clean. Like, her line is perfect. Like, she's just, in every single challenge, she's just nailed application. Like, she knows how to create a nail that doesn't need any Photoshop or retouching. So she could be an amazing editorial nail artist because she's just fantastic at that. I think she's just she's very cool, and her use of adornments, I think, was really inspired. It was a beautiful set to look at. I'm just kudos to you for doing a photo shoot, Camilla, because
those aren't easy. Those make everything more difficult. I think, personally, that's a personal opinion.
No, it just shows that she's going the extra mile for that, and that'll score you points. That's how you get points, right? Like, these are all extra things that if you don't show us, we won't know. Well, I guess we'll know in the photos, but but we won't know. So kudos, Camilla, you did a great job. In terms of scale wise, I feel like our girl Katie Potter went huge. Like, huge.
Yeah.
At one point I was like, is that a nail or is that 10,000 nails? I don't know.
The scratch nail?
Yes.
Yeah, I was really curious about that, like, too. And then that technique, that specific technique where you, like, cut up the photos and then you slot it, like, her and Monica did the same thing. Another
like, what the heck?
It was amazing. I think the thing I love most about Katie's as well is because it's been the first year of WSNA, it's been a journey for every single one of us, whether a judge, a guest judge, an organizer, or a competitor. And she encompassed her journey in this final set of nails. And I love that she did that, because we said bizarre beauty, but we didn't really say where you have to find your inspiration from. That was kind of anyone's game. And it was just very heartwarming to see that every single nail represented a different part of her journey or a reference to one of her former challenges. And it was a really nice reflective piece. I thought that was really cool.
She took each past entry and made a bizarre twist on it. Like, I thought that was cool. Like, she took it, because I think Katie's style, we've seen, can be very clean, right? She can do very pretty nails. And so I like that for this challenge, she took, like, her aesthetic. And so now let's make it weird. Like, let's add tattoos to the head. Like, so I thought that was really cool, because that's showing us that you can do different things, right? You can do a castle, you can do stained glass windows, you can do wedding nails, but now you can also do a windmill. Like, so I really did appreciate the imagination in Katie's set, and it definitely is bizarre enough. Like, I did, like, we're talking about Camilla before. I feel like this is nice and more bizarre. My thing for Katie, when you look at it all together, Winnie, I'm gonna say the C word. There's no, like, there's not cohesion. Like,
Yes.
I was a little bit just like, ooh, but like,
Yes.
would you know it was Bizarre Beauty? Like,
Yes.
or is it like WSNA? I mean, it's both. But, you know, I couldn't see Bizarre Beauty as much in the jumble of things.
Yeah.
So, like, I wish there was like a little bit more cohesion throughout to unite it.
Yeah.
But like, I love those, the ones with like this, I call them Dr. Seuss nails. Like, I love the nails like played with like the dimension, and like you said, Winnie, the scale. For me, her scale was the best. I think this is what we were looking for out of all 5.
She's definitely paid attention to what we've been looking for throughout this competition, and it's been very clever for her to include so many references and elements. So not just for her past challenges, but the gold star that we've asked for in a previous challenge was in there. Scratch logo was on there, you know, WSNA was on there, and she used all CND products. So she definitely knows how to, I'm not saying sucking up, but I'm saying how to thoughtfully know what we've kind of been looking for and requesting. So again, more kudos to you, Katie, for that. And when we were chatting before we came live on air, I had a new nickname for you, thanks to your videos, because you're so bubbly and you're so engaging, and you are Katie Positive Pottle. So the positivity just radiates through, and your videos are just so enjoyable to watch. I just, I love watching Katie. It keeps me thoroughly engaged. Like, I can't stop looking at the screen now when the video is playing, because she just cleverly marries her shots together while narrating the whole time. She's got a very clear, very fun, but still professional tone as well.
Yeah. Oh, Katie Pottle, what are we gonna do with you?
all positive, but like this, the henna spin, like just how she took those elements from her past challenges, and like, I mean, I think I said before that those henna inspired nails, they pretty much made me cry with how beautiful they were. And she won the challenge that week, and then she's totally flipped them on their head, and they made me go, wow, that's cool, like this week, because she took a beautiful set of nails and made it weird. And while the techniques are kind of the same in terms of the hand painting, the outcome is completely different, and that spin is pretty cool.
I really like this scratch design.
The accordion. It looks like an accordion.
Yes. And then it's like WSNA one way and then scratch the other way.
And the lettering's perfect.
Look at that.
It's very well done.
That is a crazy nail. Like, the weight.
What?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I would want to know. Well, I mean, she had to with the letters. Okay, never mind. I was like, why so big that way? But I guess.
Why so
I don't
big
know. I
way?
mean, she wore it. It works.
Yeah.
It wore it.
Yeah.
I think for me, Katie definitely nailed it when it came to doing the different shapes. I think we definitely saw the most shapes from Katie.
Yeah.
The other nails from the other finalists, all fantastic in their own right, but a lot of the shaping could have been quite similar, or, you know, started off with sort of a similar base and then just sort of went off from it, or just made some minor adjustments. But these, I found myself sort of looking at every single picture going, oh my goodness, like how is that even onto the nail? Because there were so many elements of it, and I was like, the shapes, just to be that creative is pretty great.
I think the fact that she got all of those on a hand, I think is pretty impressive
like this
in its own
spread.
Right. Yeah, that must have been a hard photo shoot. That one looks challenging.
No, I am still craving cohesiveness from that set for sure. But this is her first time competing, right?
Can you believe? Yeah.
It's ridiculous that this is her first time. But you can tell, like, she's like gone in fresh, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna have so much. I feel like this is a challenge where you can really have fun with.
It is.
And even though it's a shorter amount of time, like, you would embrace the fun, I think, if I was competing. When I'm not crying in the bathtub, I will be embracing fun. Now let's talk about Monica, who has been a really strong competitor throughout this whole entire competition. Week after week, she comes with clean, precise work, and she always knocks it out of the park with her, like, with interpreting the brief. And I feel like every single challenge we see something new and different, like technique wise, from Monica.
Yeah.
And I have to applaud her for that.
Yeah, and you also get to see a new part of the world because she's always going on holiday and sending us videos from her holidays, which is great.
I know.
I like how she wanted to go for a walk to clear her head, but she didn't just go outside. She had to get on the plane, go to another country to then take a walk. But
she
yeah,
went home.
I feel like there's many sides of Monica. You know, like Monica can shut off one part of her brain and do another. And I was actually really surprised when I saw these from her. Like they just weren't what I was picturing. Because I keep thinking of when she did the big nails in the second challenge, right? With people in them. And I was like, so Monica can do big scale. We've seen it from her. And I just was a little surprised with like how toned down. In a way. In a way, these are. I mean, but they're very like thin and crisp. Like I think this is the first words. I mean, maybe I was hungry, but I was like, these are like thin and crisp nails. Like they are so interesting that I was just interested in the fact that she went that route. So I feel like with Monica, I never quite know what she's gonna do, but I feel like she's good at showing us her inspiration. She's good at letting us into her head. And so for this, you know, it's a very personal story because it's her dad's elements that he didn't get to use. It's like an homage to her homeland. Like she said, there's some bizarre art in Gdansk in Poland. So I thought this was a very personal set for her. But I was just very surprised. I feel like I'm still like wrapping my mind around this set. I don't know. For me, this was like, it was harder to understand, and I don't know if that's really good or not. I just know, I'm like so torn by it.
I know. I completely feel the same way, and I feel like it's, you know, she's trying to demonstrate restraint in this piece.
I think that's right, Winnie. I agree.
But also at the same time, I feel like, look at this part. This is my favorite part. I was like, what is this?
Do it again.
Oh,
I love that too.
I literally went, what? So loud.
I think like Monica's always showing us new things and new techniques, and that's what makes her such an innovator. And I do think these nails are more on the editorial style that we touched upon earlier. But I too was surprised that she went down this route, but there's always something new to learn from Monica, and I like her storytelling throughout this competition has got so much better and so much more detailed, and I feel like I've really got to know her as an artist. And I love that. And her video, for me, I loved seeing the snapshots of what she saw, the bizarre things that she saw when she was going down around her hometown, and then seeing how she translated them onto her nail style. That story really kind of resonated well with me. I enjoyed that. And the meaningful full picture and elements that she used, I thought were really lovely. So she brought weird like art that's all around us to, you know, artist innovations, and married them all with her own techniques and as a nail artist. And so it was artful. She was like the artful daughter.
Artful, that's like the way to describe. This was like an artful. It was like and I said this too. Like she went the hand painted route in a challenge that I thought, you know, like we could, like we were saying, you could go crazy like Katie and go crazy and build and build and build. And I just thought that was such an interesting risk. But I'm not saying it didn't work. I just saw this video yesterday. Like I said, I'm still digesting hers and everyone else's. But it's like, it's hand painting, it's like localized art, and then it's like jewelry art. Like I thought hers was, like you said, Helena, artful. It was all these different kinds of art combined together to make something bizarre, but also just really beautiful. I think her nails they were really, really beautiful this
Yeah.
week.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good word for it. I think the only drawback for me is her video diary this week. I feel like there were a lot of pauses in
Totally.
between, sort of hard to follow along in a sense. And it ended sort of abruptly. Like, I didn't get
Yeah.
to see the whole set in a video.
Agreed.
But I guess that's why we have photo submissions, video submissions, and write-ups. So kudos, Monica. Way to go. I hope you had fun in Poland.
Take us on your next trip, please, because I want to see all the weird and wonderful things that you see.
I know. It's so unfair. How come she gets to go to all these places?
Then
I
also,
went down the street. I wouldn't see anything cool like that here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like maybe it's a European thing. I don't know.
I
It's not the
know.
right
It'll
internet.
here it'll be like bums,
Liquor
panhandlers.
store, storage,
Yeah.
gas station.
Gas station. Really large gas stations.
Yeah.
well, it's a good thing you're
Oh.
coming to London, Winnie. How about that?
Yes, that I'll be like, look, birds. And
Pigeons. More pigeons. Even more pigeons.
Yay! I love
And
it.
cups of tea. Proper cups of tea. There we go.
Oh, here we go.
That's
The
what I
tea
had to put
police
in.
is here, everybody.
Just saying, I mean, I was in America last week and I did not, well, I had one cup of tea and it epitomized everything I said in the last podcast. It was, they gave me a cup of hot water and then I had to put my own bag in. I'm sorry, I draw the line at that. It would come bagged. How I paid like $8 for a cup of boiling hot water
What?
and a little packet on the side. And then I was like, where's the milk? And again, there's cream over there. No, I don't want cream. I want milk. Oh, full fat. No, I don't want full fat. I want semi-skimmed. Semi what? Half and half? Oh my God, no. So I had the one mediocre but very expensive cup of hot water last week.
Yeah,
and
I think you should
I'm not
just
over
not try anymore. You'll just never be happy.
Yeah.
I'm not over it. Can you tell?
Maybe just a little bit, like.
I mean, all my UK finalists will, I'm sure, agree with me. Although we had a little bit of debate about it on Instagram, and Monica has opened my eyes not just to new nail techniques, but to new types of tea. So, thank you for giving us a learning experience on this ride.
Yeah, exactly. So now I have to try all the different teas when we get there.
Well, we could go and see Lai Ying and try all the teas in China.
Oh yeah. Look at
There we go.
that.
Look at that
scratch
segue.
goes
That
to-
was seamless.
You did great, Helena. You get a big gold star.
Thank
Gold
you.
star for you today. Speaking of trips.
Another nice segue.
Someone went on a acid trip journey with her piece, and
Do
she
we have to
took
put a
us with.
disclaimer here that not like literally, just figuratively, she went on an acid trip. Just
Oh,
you know,
okay. Right.
disclaimer.
Disclaimer. We do not condone.
Right.
Say no to drugs. But Gemma had fun on this
Gemma
piece.
did lava lamps. Like that's what
Yes.
we're watching now. And then kind of, was inspired, I guess, by the idea of an acid trip, which I think is a good way to look at the Bizarre Beauty challenge.
Yeah.
So, she hid these little like capsules, like lava lamp capsules throughout to kind of give some more movement. But you know what, for me personally, and this is what I told Gemma in my comments, like I appreciate the idea of like the lava lamp and the acid trip. I think that's like very literal way to take the brief. But I loved more her idea about like distortion and you know like the
Yeah.
colors and like how we see ourselves and how
Yes.
beauty is reflected, deflected. I thought that was a more powerful theme here, you know, because she had the faces, she had the eyes. For me, like in the video, she lays out a bunch of different themes. And I mean, I apologize again because I know it's like I'm being very picky today, but it's the end. But like I would tell Gemma, like, narrow it down to like one overarching theme because her set is cohesive. And I do, she did use our collection. She used the Bizarre Beauty collection, so thank you, Gemma. But I think the stronger theme here is what she was trying to say about how we see ourselves, the mirrors, and like she talks about the funhouse mirrors. I thought that was like a little bit more of a cohesive theme that was stronger and, you know, gave us a message, gave us a nice message. So I would just whittle it down to that. I don't think we need lava lamps. I don't think we need to mention acid trips. Like you know, they weren't needed. I thought this was fun enough and strange enough in a good way.
Yeah.
On its own. You know what, we were talking before we were live about what the shapes reminded us of. What I'm seeing now, do you remember Beetlejuice? Do you remember like
I wonder what you were going to say then.
Yeah, you remember like the mom, Catherine O'Hara? She's like a weird artist and she sculpts up with these bizarre statues that come to life. This reminds me of those statues. Which, they're bizarre. So, you know, I like it. I like it more now. I see it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think Gemma, out of the 5, is the strongest storyteller.
Yeah.
And she's always, like, I feel like her brief always tells a strong story.
She's thoughtful.
And
she's
yeah, and she's really, Yeah,
and for her, this is very un-Gemma. Like, I think she really surprised me this week, and so did Monica. I was like, Gemma, like, you took a huge turn here. Like, we know you can paint everybody exactly how they look, or you could Disneyfy them. We didn't know you could create like trippy animal,
mushroom-looking things,
braintree shapes. Like, I just didn't know it was in her arsenal. So I really appreciate that. I think Gemma stepped out. You know, she tried to step as far away from herself as she could, and she really did it. She embraced it.
Yeah, I think the thing with Gemma for me is that I'm still seeing so much newness from her because I never know what to expect. You remember in one of the with the first 2 challenges, I had this sort of strong idea about the kind of artist that she was. Then she totally kind of flipped it on its head. She created the black style dolls for each member of the coalition. Then she completely stripped it back with the water theme nails. And I was just like, wow, the thought process for Gemma is amazing. I never know what to expect week on week. And that kind of is bizarre beauty for me because I was expecting the unexpected.
Yeah, she definitely did bizarre. Wow.
And I think, Helena, that's why Gemma's here, right? Like, I think with Gemma, and we were talking in the beginning, like we were looking at who grew in this contest. Like, for me, I just think Gemma, like you said, every week reinvented herself, and I think she was so conscientious. Like, I can't be the character artist every week. Like, I can't be the editorial, you know, with the beautiful bubbles and the drips. Like, I can't do that every week. So I appreciate Gemma. Like, I think every week she like tore it all up and said, I'm going to start from scratch. And show them like a completely different version of myself. So that's why, in my opinion, she's here, because she's trying to be versatile. And I think she really achieved that in this contest.
Totally.
Definitely. And I think
I love watching her growth throughout the competition week after week.
I think Gemma's she's a very clever nail artist. She really thinks deep. Going back to the storytelling, she really thinks deep and like long and hard into what she's going to do for her designs. And there's always that hidden meaning and messaging. And, you know, on first got like I read the brief and the first start of the video was talking about, you know, trippy acid kind of vibes, and you see that with the eyes. Then you realize actually there's so much more. That's just surface level. She then starts talking about beauty and being, themes of body dysmorphia in the beauty world, hence the mirrors, hence the faces, hence, the reflective elements she's got on this design. And I just thought, wow, that's a very clever way at looking at beauty and then turning it on its head.
Yeah. No, all these 5 entries are so different. They're so different and so amazing in their own way. So, what are we gonna do?
I was about to say, I'm glad we're not. We've got some serious juggling to do before Sunday,
right? So, like, do you guys have sort of an idea who's gonna take it?
Yes.
Wow, that's I was not expecting that.
I mean, last week, absolutely not. This challenge, absolutely not. I think, like we said, every single finalist was in there for completely different reasons, and that's why we had to put 5 people through to the final, because we literally couldn't make a decision about who should be in the top 3. It was too hard. But I think looking at what's been achieved in these final challenges, and then looking at journeys and progress and consistency, but also how people have pushed themselves and their different ways of thinking, I think for me, I have come to who I think should win.
Ooh. Agreed. Yeah, I think a nice strange challenge just brings it out. It makes it all clear. If we'd asked for something really pretty, we'd be in the same boat we were in last week when we were like, oh, everyone's so pretty. Like, they built themselves looking nice. I know we needed something really odd, and we wanted something unconventional here. And I think that kind of divides. It creates a clearer division for me, because it's one thing to do pretty. And I mean, the nail industry is about doing pretty nails. That's what we're doing on our clients day in, day out. That's what we're looking at on Instagram day in, day out. It's another thing to do something like this that's not usually, lauded by people. That's not usually going to get high, on the algorithm. So this is a competition. These are competition nails. It is about the video, the story, the nail art, the technique. So I think this was a good separator for me.
No, for sure. Brilliant challenge to wrap it all up. Now, what does the winner get?
So the winner, who will be announced at the Scratch Stars party on Sunday the 23rd of July, will receive the first ever title of World Star Nail Artist. They will also receive £1,000 British, a stunning trophy to remind them of their amazing journey and show off to their clients. They'll also receive a front cover opportunity and a column opportunity, scratch, some CND goodies, and some opportunities further down the line as well. So, I mean, what we found running the Scratch Stars Awards for 11 years, and that's for UK and Irish based nail artists, is the opportunities that come out of the competition afterwards are amazing. And that's exactly what's going to happen for our WSNA finalists. There'll be lots of press coverage. There'll be lots of opportunities to represent brands, and it's the future's looking positive for our star.
Yes. That's so good. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. But that also goes for the rest of the 4, right? Like, just because you didn't win doesn't mean your opportunity stops there, because we've been watching. And second and third place will also receive cash prizes. Fifth place will receive bundles of goodies. Obviously, we'll treat you like, queens and royalty at like stars, because you are all stars at the Scratch Stars party as well. And you will be contacted for various feature opportunities. When I get a lot of people coming to me from businesses, TV programs, looking for spokespeople and looking for people that can, maybe do a photo shoot or do something for the local press or something for a TV program. We've had that quite a few times. And the first names I put forward are those that I know have the skills and ability to fit a brief, and that will represent the nail industry in a really professional way. And
what better than five amazing people in, you know, a global nail art competition. I mean, you've all shown us that you deliver and that you're amazing. So yeah, lots of exciting things to come.
Yes, so give yourselves a big pat on your back. You all did a fantastic job. Now it's just no nail biting. Don't bite your nails, but just wait patiently until the results on Sunday. Now, you two have been, I always call you guys like the heart and soul, the electricity that drives the train, the conductor of all things WSNA. Like, how would you...
worse?
The admin lady, the cat lady, the tea police, everything, all that. How would you describe this first season of WSNA as is coming to a close?
Chaotic, creative, fabulous, inspiring, busy.
Right? Did you know this was what it entails when you signed up for this? Probably.
Absolutely not, no. But you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way, because it's been so amazing, and we're on our own learning journey with this competition. And you know, there's a few tweaks that we will make for following years, but ultimately the crux of it is we have found some incredible nail artists, and that's the goal. And you know, our main aim is to unite the global nail industry, and with the help of you, fabulous Winnie, and your amazing podcasts and social media prowess, you know, we've got promotion out to the world that you know, nail artists are amazing, and there is this global nail competition that will be running, and there are opportunities for those to excel in it. And I think that's just awesome.
Yeah, I think that's such a tough question, but I would just like to say to everyone, and it's not just our 5 finalists, it's everyone who applied really for this. Like, I think when it's something new like this competition, and we, you know, like Helena said, we're still figuring it out, we're learning to, I just really applaud everyone who applied and tried for it, because you were willing to be our guinea pigs, you were willing to learn with us. If you, doesn't matter what country you came from, right? Like, you were willing to bet on yourself that you were going to make it this far, and you know, possibly win this trip and go to this award show that you may have never even heard of, like, right, if you're not in the UK. So I just really thank everybody for taking a risk and trying. You know, we're taking the risk as well by setting up this contest and being very bold and talking about it, and it can only get better. So you know, for me, this went by really fast, but I'm just very appreciative of everyone who made an attempt, because you didn't know what you were getting into, no more than we did. So you're all brave, and I just applaud all of you for putting yourselves out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they've given us such delights for the eyes. And I think, you know, Beth and I have been in the industry for around the same amount of time, and I've seen so many things that I've never seen before. And I just think, you know, new techniques, new ways of thinking. Like, you know, I look at the likes of Danielle throughout this competition, and you know, the way that some people kind of think before creating a nail design, and what they come up with. And every single shortlisted finalist has shown me something new, and that's been really exciting. And you know what, that's why I love this industry, because it never stops. You're learning something new every day, and you're seeing or getting to know amazing people every single day. And it's just, I love this competition for doing that for me personally. So thank you all, everyone that's taken part.
Yeah, and I mean, and also, like, just a huge thank you to all our guest judges too over the past few weeks. Winnie, I know you wrangled a couple. Helen, I know you wrangled a couple. You know, and I just feel like without the support of our friends, you know, we wouldn't have anything. So you know, not only to the people who participated, but you know, our nail coalition, the people who've been guests on this podcast, like, very cool. Without them, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So
And this is all built on family, right? We reached out to these people because they came across our path, I guess, our journey through this whole entire industry. And this is how opportunities work, right? Like, because in the future, like you said, Helena, like if someone needs a nail artist for a TV show, this pool of artists is the first people you would think of, right?
We know that they can do
photogenic.
anything because
Yeah.
you've set them challenges every single week. They've
I
made
know.
it this far. They can literally pull anything out of the bag. And so I'd have no hesitation in recommending any single one of them to new projects. And I just can't wait to see what they're going to keep creating in the future.
Well, thank you both so much for being on the show today. I know it almost feels kind of bittersweet, but then we talk all the time, so it's not really bittersweet. And the fight is not over yet. We still have to find a winner. Oh my gosh. I don't know what we're gonna do. Jeez. Well, there you have it. Who is going to take home the big win? That's for you to find out on July 23rd at the Scratch Stars Award. It's been an absolute joy to spend time with all of you. And just because the competition is nearing the end, this is definitely not going to be our last show. So make sure you follow us on Instagram at BeyondTheBrush_podcast, at Scratch Magazine, and at C&D World in the coming days for your latest WSNA update. Until then, keep on keeping on, and we'll catch you on the next one. Say bye, everybody.